everyone, this is Dolly Bree, and what this video is about today is my views on gun control, gun regulation, and stuff along those lines. And this is really going to have an impact on who my followers are going to be on YouTube. And I wanted to stay away from this, but with everything that's gone on recently, with the events in Orlando and stuff like that, I feel I really need to make this video and give my views on it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump in, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I think gun control is one of the most ridiculous things that has been on the liberal Democrat agenda for a while now. They keep on saying that we need more and more and more gun regulations, when in fact we have a lot of gun regulations as it is. A lot of them are not enforced. And that is the major issue. We don't need more regulations. We just need to regulate the ones that we already have. And you don't really hear that from the liberal side. Now, I'm not going to get into any amendments because liberals tend to try to shoot those down really fast and say those aren't constitutional rights, those are amendments to the Constitution. So in their minds, they don't count, even though they do. But it's like trying to talk to a 3-year-old and tell them that, the tooth fairy doesn't exist. They'll fight you tooth and nail for their fake ideals. So what I am going to talk about, though, is the 3 rights that are guaranteed by the Constitution, which is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, you need to understand what those are, especially the first 2, which are critical to my points. Your first right that no one can take away is your right to life. Now, what that means to me is that I have the right to live. While I am in this country, I have the right to live, unless I break the law in some case like a murder or something like that, which I'm held accountable and I have to pay the price for whatever it is I've done. But I have the right to live, which means if you come up to me and try to kill me or try to harm me in a way that endangers my right to life, I have the right to defend myself by any means that I see fit. Which means if you come trying to kill me, I have the right to retaliate and kill you to prevent you from taking away my right to life. Now, that may be controversial. I don't know. Everything's controversial nowadays. But that's the fact. I'm sorry. Disagree all you want. I have the right to live in this country, alive. If you try to take that right, I have the right to end you. Now, second one, liberty. Now, I don't know if people understand what liberty means. And it's basically a fancy way of saying freedom. I have the right to my freedom. Now, that means I have the right to defend myself from all tyranny, foreign and domestic. That's in the Constitution. I have these rights. And how am I supposed to be able to defend myself if you're trying to tell me I'm not allowed to have guns? It makes no sense. You mean I'm supposed to defend myself from a terrorist walking around a neighborhood shooting people up with I'm supposed to defend myself with a baseball bat or a kitchen knife. No, no. I'm allowed to use any means whatsoever ever to defend my liberties. And that that's not something that's debatable. I know that liberals are trying to debate this, and it blows my mind. It doesn't come across to someone like me as any other reason besides you are trying to weaken the American people so that you can do some sort of takeover to where they cannot defend themselves. You know, after Orlando with the mass shooting that just happened, where I think it was 49, it might be 50, but biggest mass shooting in American history, and you they're pointing at this and looking at it and saying that this is gun violence. We need gun regulations instead of looking at it for what it is, which is Islamic terror. This guy is a Muslim. He converted, or I don't know if he converted. He might have always been Muslim. I'm not sure about that part. But regardless, he was in contact with people from ISIS. We were warned by ISIS 3 days prior to the attack that they were coming to Florida. And then, boom, this happens in Orlando. ISIS takes responsibility for it. And we have our coward ass president standing up there and saying that this is gun violence. We have Hillary Clinton saying this is gun violence. We have CNN saying this is gun violence. We need regulations on guns. Da 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 da. None of them are acknowledging what it is, which is Islamic terror. Look at what's going on in the world right now. Look at what's going on in France. Look at what's going on in Germany. Look what's going on in England. There are riots right now with the Muslims that they brought in, the refugees, saying that this is our country now, get out. We are going to impose Sharia. There's nothing you can do about it. You're screwed. And no one talks about it. And yet these are things that are happening all the freaking time. But yet it's only getting blamed on gun control, gun violence, the stuff that's going on when it comes to the shootings and the killings. We are our most gun-free city in the United States, Chicago, is the most violent city in the United States. There are shootings all the time. And the only thing that liberals say in regards to that is, well, that's why we need more regulations to make it harder for the criminals to get these guns. You need to understand that due to your war on drugs, you've made it to where these criminals have so much money through their selling of meth, through their selling of crack, through their selling of Oxycontin, all these prescribed or illegal drugs, that they have marked the prices up to a point to where they are rich. Raising the price of guns isn't going to change anything. And if you think that, maybe if we make it to where the background checks are more strict, it will be harder for them to get guns. No, it's not. It's as easy to find a gun as it is to walk down the street and find pot. You know, your your war on drugs has caused criminals to make it big. They have sat there and racked up millions because of your illegal laws. That sounds stupid, but most of the laws that are getting put in place now are, technically speaking, illegal. You can't march into my car and search my car without a warrant. Yet there are places that are making it so. I think it's California right now that's made it to where you cannot conceal carry, you cannot open carry, you can't have a gun in your car. I don't know what it is in your house because I'm not from California, but they're imposing these laws that are infringing on your rights. And liberals just sit back and accept it because they're puppets. That's all it is. You don't actually know what your rights are. Either that or you know what your rights are. You just don't care. You're willing to forfeit your rights as long as you take away rights of your enemies, aka conservative Republicans. That's all it is. What the people of the United States and really the people of the world need to understand is that we are dangerously close to a civil war. People say that a lot, and it seems like every year someone else is saying, oh, we're really close to a civil war. But when you have your veterans that defend this country up in arms saying that this country does not defend them and that they are no longer acknowledging the laws of this country, you've really got yourself a problem and you are very close to a war. Because veterans are going to unite, people who support the veterans are going to unite, and there's going to be an all-out war to take back this country. And if you are fine with that, then do nothing. Just continue to watch your puppet news and deal with it when it comes. But you need to start opening your eyes to what the problems actually are in this country. And what the problems are is Islamic terrorists and the liberal Democrats who are supporting them. That's a big accusation, but I'm sorry. When your country is attacked by ISIS and the president of your country blames guns and does not blame Islamic terrorists and Islamic terror, that's when you open your eyes and accept the fact that your president supports the terrorists who are killing your people. Open your eyes